Hey everybody, welcome back to The Strain. We're back, they're back, we're all back. It's season 2, Bibbs, Alonso. We're gonna take a look at the first 2 episodes. We're getting caught up because Comic-Con and stuff.
Comic-Con, the flu, Outfest.
Outfest, it's been a whole,
The June, July sucks, but we're back.
Yes.
And we are reviewing anything but Mr. Robot.
Ha!
No. And no, we like The Strain. We're committed to The Strain.
Yes.
We'll talk about Mr. Robot later. But.
Okay, so as I was just telling Bibbs, any season that opens with Kathleen Chalfant telling a Romanian folk legend about a blood-sucking beast, good move.
Right?
Way to get things rolling.
That's how you started off.
Yes, and I gotta say, I'm finding this season a little better, or at least less blue, which I like. Blue, like literal blue. Remember?
Not like, you know,
not triste. I mean, like actual blueness.
Excuse me, guys. Jesus. Well, here's the thing. This season doesn't have to have that long build-up. I suppose the first one didn't either.
Sure.
But it really made the whole vampires overtaking New York very, very gradual.
Yes. We now join this apocalypse already in progress.
Yes, exactly. And now this is it's a little of a lot of things. It's a little The Walking Dead. It's a little Andromeda Strain. It's a little whatever that prologue was. It's a little everything. It's a little Blade 2.
Oh, okay, sure.
Citrikian making a deal with the evil vampires to get the more evil vampire, and it's just all over the place. There's so much stuff.
Yes.
In this show, which is kind of amazing because if you think about it, not a lot of it like means a lot. It's a lot of plot, but it's not like, you know, it's not really hitting me where I live. There's cool stuff. The blind kids who become the
feelers.
The feelers. Is that what they call them? The feelers?
The feelers,
I missed
yes.
it.
Not to be confused with the Feelies, an 80s indie band.
Of blind hounds, you know?
Well,
like bloodhounds,
yeah, it's like, okay,
I just like portmanteaus.
Let's talk about the blind kids for a second. Now, I get that, you know, if you're missing one sense, your other ones become enhanced. But is their sense of smell really that good, even as now that they're like part of the Legion of the Undead, that they can like sniff this kid's clothes and go find him in Manhattan?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad we settled that.
That's not even like that. I can't debate that. If the show says vampires do that,
you're right.
Stuff,
you're right. We're just gonna go with it. One thing that I'm finding still a little baffling is how apocalypsy are we exactly?
Right? Because sometimes it seems like it is full on absolute
looting, anarchy in the streets, and then at other times it's let's make a real estate deal and have a press conference. Like, well, how bad are things?
I appreciate that for the 1%, it's going to hit them slower because they're in City Hall. There's more protection. The rich can afford to protect themselves. But at the same time, then they'll give like a big fucking press conference and they'll be full of people who just got there and like it was fine. I know it's in the middle of the day, but still.
Exactly. I'm losing a little. I would like to know, just like, again, this is one of those things where when people say I'm nitpicking, I'm like, it's 2 lines of dialogue.
It is.
You know, it's just a general idea of what's happening in New York, how safe is it, how much is day-to-day continuing unabated, and how much of it is like, oh God, let's hide in a storage locker because we have, vampires.
And a lot of this is because of the intimacy of television, because you only have so much budget.
Sure.
You can't show a lot of the establishing shots. You can't show too much context.
Totally.
It's got to be people talking in rooms. So you see people talking in this room and it feels like the apocalypse. You see people talking in this room and it feels like a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
It doesn't gel.
Tell me, radio voice, what's happening? You know, I kind of liked in the second episode where Samantha Mathis, who I want to see more of on the show, was complaining about how you say we have thousands of soldiers and I haven't seen any. And I thought, the show can't really afford them. That's probably why you haven't seen them. But that's just me being cynical.
Yeah.
What else? Okay. How ostentatious is Ephraim's drinking? Like, he can't just sip a glass of vodka. He's like swirling it around and getting the last drop. Yeah.
I wrote down in my notes, alcoholism equal good. Like, there's this, finally a show that dares ask the question, maybe some people are better drunk.
Yeah, well.
It's like, it's interesting that he's just like, fuck it, the apocalypse. I don't care. I'm going to drink.
No, and I totally get it. And that's an interesting character choice. But it's like there's just so many flasks and so many just big swishes and slugs of it, and I was like, just drink like a normal person. Calm down. We're getting it, okay?
Yeah. I will say this: after all of that talk about this virus and it's unlike anything we've ever seen, 2 episodes, we've come up with a way to kill it.
Well, they think.
They've come up with a virus that will kill the other virus.
They started talking about amino acids, and I swear, I had the captions on, and it's like, okay, the science. Like, I don't even know what this is
Weren't they
about.
talking about complex media?
Maybe.
Like, oh, get the complex media, and I'm like, no, it's not the strain. That's
Oh.
it's not complex. But I do like the moral quandary. I do like that they're talking about mad science, and it does make one think.
Sure.
Because the episode when they introduced that also had a lot of Nazi allegory.
Oh, interesting.
They thought they were doing something that was worthwhile
Right.
or righteous.
And even specifically,
You know?
like they talk about the medical experiments, this doctor
and why
or whatever.
should we care? They're just going to die anyway.
Right.
So we might as well get some use out of them. I thought that was probably the closest the show has ever come to getting genuinely pointed. And I like this show. I enjoy watching this show, but it's a dessert. As we've described before. It's after you've had a long week, you've watched Hannibal, you've watched True Detective, you just want...
It's a palate cleanser.
You just want the vampires to lick each other.
I am kind of digging the flashbacks to the 60s. I don't know if we've seen the last of them or not, of Palmer and Satrakian first meeting and the origins of the sword and, and... I love the idea of Palmer hiring a vampire hunter not because he wants to stop the vampires, because he wants to make a deal with them.
Yes.
That's kind of a cool notion. And I was also thinking about, were the 50s and 60s in Europe, like, where they're just constantly these chases through public squares where they oh, somebody else found a Nazi?
As far as I can tell, again, we review Hannibal. Hannibal Rising is all about hunting Nazis afterwards, and they stole Hannibal Lecter's paintings, and he's got to get them back. And yeah, honestly, it sounds like it just took a long time to clear all of those guys up, and I'm glad we tried. I do, however. So it's interesting. We saw that Nazi get turned. Have we seen that character before on the show? I don't think we have.
I don't know that we have, but I'm not going to say we haven't.
It might be an interesting, stealthy way to. And if someone is saying we've already seen it, I'm sorry. I haven't seen the first season since it came on. But that's like actually a really clever, stealthy way to introduce a major character. Just to introduce them in a flashback, and then so
there you are.
I arrived from my mission in Vienna to kill all the not vampire people you like, and now I am here where I am supposed to.
Well, and I mean, clearly he would be like somebody who would be as laser focused on Satrakian as the rest of them, but not that there's any lacking in that department,
I liked when Vasily broke into Satrakian's room with, "What, you thought I was dead?" There's about 20% chance. We have 92. Like, come on.
Vasily and Dutch have the nice skinny dipping scene.
I was disappointed in how that came out.
How so?
Okay. I like Vasily. I like Dutch.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Dutch in particular. Actually, I like the idea of both of them. I think they're fun characters.
What's their couple portmanteau? Are they Vutch or
Dutchly?
Dutchly. Okay, I like it.
Okay, so Dutchly. I like Dutchly. I like them as characters individually and together. As soon as they are like, oh, let's go swimming, I'm like, okay, so you're going to take off all your clothes. You're going to go into the middle of a giant swimming pool. You're going to leave all your weapons over here. How does this scene not end with them surrounded by vampires in the water? That would have been a great scene.
Well, I think they had secured the perimeter, except for the fact that there was a door missing that he had shattered.
There's bound to be something, right? Or even just one would have been creepy.
Maybe after It Follows, they thought, well, that's been done. So,
The book was written. I don't even know this. I haven't read the book on this one.
I don't know. I did like the fact. I did enjoy the whole sort of close quarter silver shrapnel grenade.
That was cool.
Especially given the Muzak "How Deep Is Your Love" that's playing over the Spa of the Damned.
I liked the way Dutch said, "Creatures of the night, come and get it." Like, yeah, Dutch. Way to go. What the? Jesus. Okay.
She's been to a lot of Rocky Horrors.
Here's the thing. I love the characters on this show who aren't normal. Like, they seem heightened. They seem broad. They seem a little caricature, which is one of the reasons why I like Corey Stollmore on this season so far, is because he gets to be the drunk, mad scientist.
Right. And his wig is better this season, too.
I think it might actually be his real hair this season. I interviewed him for Ant-Man, and he had hair.
Really?
So it might be real hair. I don't know.
Well, then that's a hell of a wig if it's growing out of his head.
I think he had hair. Maybe I'm just conflating it. I don't know.
Could be.
But yes.
My favorite lines of the season so far are, "I love the sound of breaking glass." It was like a Nick Lowe shout out. And we're in the middle of a vampire apocalypse. Everyone's making sacrifices. Because really, kids, shut up about the warm soda. And can we talk about the kid for a second? Because he's getting a little on my nerves. But I agree with you that it's the heightened characters that are most fun. It's the day-to-day ones that are sort of like.
And the kid is dealing with the kid has nothing. The kid has no goals, pursuits, no defining characteristics other than he likes his mom.
Yeah, he's not adding to the pursuit at all.
Yeah. So and honestly, at this point, as we see at the end of episode 2. Looks like he exists to get kidnapped.
Well, yeah, he's either going to be there to betray the other humans, or to
if he became a vampire, that'd be awesome. Actually,
or to become a vampire, or to finally realize, oh, geez, my dad's been right about this all along, and having to kill his own mom.
What if the kid's the new master?
Oh,
cool. We ran into the hard rock vampire again.
True,
I thought that guy died. Like, I was a little confused. Yeah. I was like, really? We're back to okay, cool. But I was interesting that, like, he said, I am dying. And good for Satrakian. We complained at the end of the last episode that after all that effort, the master wasn't even really injured. And it turns out he's dying and he needs to.
Sure.
That's a good little plot point. Nice way to get rid of that really expensive makeup effect for the master and get a new actor in there who will have presumably have some sort of relationship with the heroes. That's all awesome. But the question is who will be the new master? And as soon as they even ask that question, they go to the wife, whose name is
Kelly.
Kelly. They go to Kelly.
Zach and Kelly, on Saved by the Bell.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I only just got that. But they go to Kelly, and it's like, ooh, okay. Oh, no, she's just going to become the leader of the blind vampire children.
We've not seen the last of her. I'm sure they'll up her ante, but that is a cool idea.
Well, but like, who would be coolest though? Because I'm trying to think of who would be more interesting as a vampire. Like, because I think the kid would be great.
Sure, hot French realtor who likes baseball.
Not bad. I like her. There'd be a reason for her to be on the show.
Do we believe that Captain of Industry Eldritch Palmer would give a speech he hasn't read?
I think at this point he might not care. I think at this point he just wants to get laid because he finally can again.
Well, yeah, no, he's clearly excited. It's very much selfless. Like, oh, I'm in a hot young body, or I'm in a better body now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna road test this.
Worst case scenario, one speech doesn't go great. The world's ending in a month anyway. I don't care.
True. Oh, okay, but see, that was another thing where I was like unclear about the status of the world. They're talking about baseball. Like, is baseball still happening? Like, has the season been interrupted? Oh, that's true, yeah. But still, like, I don't know. I just, again, 2 lines of dialogue and I'm good.
It is 2 lines of dialogue. The show is all over the place, but again, it is fun. It does have a lot of wonderful, horrific elements, and it doesn't pretend to be more than it is. And that's what I respect about it. When you review a show, when you review a movie, you want to review what it is, not what you want it to be.
It owns its pulpiness.
Yes.
And I think it just wants to be like not super gory, scary, but suspenseful and exciting.
And certainly very creepy.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's betrayed by television. I don't think it has the budget to do what it wants to do. Reminds me of the ending of that one season of Millennium in which the entire world ended, but then they were picked up for another season, but they had to do it on a TV budget. Said, oh no, it was just this town. Like they changed it, like they retconned it the next season. No, it's like this one small part of New England. That ended. The world didn't end. Then why did Lance Henriksen do all that stuff? Like, I digress. Anyway, the show is fun. We're gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
We certainly have fun talking about it, and we will be back next week with a proper episode of a whole episode.
Just one
of
episode
a thingy,
this time.
and not Mr. Robot.